There is Stanley Kubrick and there is the Apollo 11 logo on the camera. Here is Stanley Kubrick examining the first footprint of the man walking on the moon, Neil Armstrong. There is Stanley Kubrick and a set with an astronaut on wires. Here is Stanley Kubrick from the front. There is another view of the set with a lunar model and operators in front of a huge moon model and an operator with camera. Artists who are painting the moonscape on huge canvas. Another view of the moon simulator and an operator in front of. Rails for a moving camera filming the models to simulate approaching the moon surface, while the models were on the left and on the right side of the rails and the canvas was on the top. Here the camera is filming the top, so the canvas on rails. Artists are painting the canvas and there is the canvas hanging from the top side. So the moving camera on rails below this canvas can film this, and this is what it looks like. Here is the moving camera on rails, filming the canvas. Kubrick, and this is NASA and the Apollo logo. Here is Stanley Kubrick and this is Neil Armstrong, the first man walking the moon. There is a model of the lunar lander. There is Stanley Kubrick. Here you got NASA, astronauts, and Stanley Kubrick at the top of the set. Here they are simulating no gravity with wires around their suits. Here they are building the lunar lander. And there is Wernher von Braun entering the lunar lander. Again, Stanley Kubrick from the back, and there is the set at the television. The lunar lander again, and the set with the astronaut. Now take a look. This is the footprint of the moon, the first footprint. And Stanley Kubrick is right there, analyzing the work. Here is Neil Armstrong, here is Stanley Kubrick. Stanley Kubrick and Apollo 11 logo there. This is Wernher von Braun, former head of NASA, and he's at the set of Apollo. This is the tombstone of Wernher von Braun, and look at this, there is Psalms 91 of the Bible. Isn't it funny that the head of NASA has got this on his tombstone? The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth this handiwork. Where are the tracks? The tires of the moon rover touched the moon surface. The tires touched the ground and then they rolled away. Since then the tires never leave the ground. Like on this original footage. Tracks all around the moon surface should be visible all the time, but not missing tracks before and after the tire. This picture is just an American dream and is impossible since the tires of the moon rover never leaves the ground. Footprints right next to the tracks of the tires, but tracks between the tires, but not before or after the vehicle. Like here on this picture you can clearly see the tire track between the tires, but no tracks before or after the tires. So it seems like that's just an American dream. Another official picture shows this clearly. No tracks before or after the moon body. Another close-up. I think it's time to grow up and realize the real reality. Buzz Aldrin in Hawaii and Buzz Aldrin on the moon. Compare the mountains in the background. Looks quite similar. The Apollo 11 crew without helmets. Wernher von Braun on a set with the lunar lander and the retroreflectors. Wernher von Braun and Walt Disney. Here Walt Disney again. Stanley Kubrick with NASA officials. A huge outdoor area where craters are created by explosions, where a huge crane was installed above the crater landscape, where the lunar lander is hanging at the crane. Here you can better see the lunar lander with the astronaut and a nice close-up with the NASA logo. Here from another side view, all slides are the edge of the set. Again, Walt Disney and Wernher von Braun. Again, Walt Disney on the right, Wernher von Braun on the left, and the high-ranked NASA scientist and the moon simulator. How comes that you can see the astronaut walking in the shadow of the lunar lander? The sun is the only lightning source on the moon, but somehow you can see clearly the astronaut walking in the shadow. He should be pitch black. When zooming into the astronaut, it seems like there is a reflection of a second lightning source, which would explain why you can see the astronaut in the shadow of the lunar lander. Comparing this to the other footages where the astronaut is crossing or walking around a shadow cast from the sun on the lunar lander, you can clearly see that this area is pitch black and you cannot see any kind or any area of the astronaut because of the shadow casting on the suit, like here. And they stated that there are no secondary lightning source on the moon of any kind of any Apollo mission. So Houston, we have a problem.
What's animation? Animation.
You guys land on the moon, which was
what? Because they weren't any television. They weren't taking a picture. You watched animation. So
what?
You associated what you saw with.
Telling that all of these are just animations which people and millions of people saw on live feed back to those days in 1969 when Apollo supposedly landed on the moon. So those are all animations, like Buzz Aldrin is telling us. So this is an animation or what? This here? Or this here where he's escaping the lunar lander, but look, there's a shadow. This should be pitch black, by the way. So all of these are animations, like Buzz Aldrin told me. Listen again.
My parents waking me up and we went down and we watched you guys land on the moon.
Yeah.
What? Because there wasn't any television. They weren't taking a picture. You watched animation.
What's wrong with this picture taken from Apollo 17? I'm not talking about the size of the Earth. I'm talking about perspective. How is it possible that you can watch the Earth so low from the lunar surface? This is the moon we are seeing every day. This is the Apollo 17 land site. So it doesn't matter if you're watching this from USA or Australia, because you're always seeing the moon from one side. That's the visible side. From Australia seeing this here, and from the USA it is just flipped, right? But this is the only side you are always seeing, not the other side, the so-called dark side. So you are just watching right at the head of the astronauts if you are on Earth, right? And the astronaut from the lunar side has to raise the head to the sky to see the Earth. This is the Earth, this is the moon. It's the only visible side of the moon. And here is the Apollo 17 landing site. And it doesn't matter if you're watching it from this side or from this side. You always see this side. And you're always looking right at the head of the astronaut. The astronaut has to raise the head into the sky. It is impossible to take a picture like this. This is impossible. So the Earth needs to be much more higher. If this would be the real deal, then from the Earth side you would see much more from the so-called darker side. This here is the only visible side of the lunar, of the moon, and the Earth should be right at the top above, just like 12 o'clock sun.